Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Miss Samira, your English teacher, and I am going to teach English to class 4. How are you all students? I hope you're doing well at your homes. Video lectures, class 4, subject English, lecture number 8. Book name is Oxford Reading Circle. Let's see the contents of today's lecture. First, we will have some instructions, then a recap, then word sentences of the unit, and at the end, we will do the main idea of the poem. Now let's see the instructions. I want all my students to be ready and fully prepared. They should give full concentration. Make sure they have their books, copies and stationery items with them. Students should have supervision also of their parents or elder siblings. They should enjoy their study time. And most important of all, the students have to do the written work on their neat copies and consider it as their first term work. Students, let's start today's lecture with the recap of the poem, The Mountain and the Squirrel. As I told you before, this poem is a thought-provoking poem and it has a certain lesson in it. It's about an argument between a mountain and a squirrel. They're having a fight about their sizes. The mountain considers itself to be mighty and large, whereas he thinks the squirrel to be useless and worthless. But the squirrel feels no shame about its size, and he makes the mountain understand the importance of everyone. We learn at the end of the poem that everything is wisely put in the universe, and being bigger or smaller doesn't matter. Everything and everyone has a purpose of his or her own. Nobody is useless, nobody is unimportant. Everybody is playing a certain role here. Let's start today's written work. Today we are going to do the word sentences. We have already done the meanings in the previous lecture. I want all my students to be ready with their copies and their stationery items. We will make sentences of the same words. First word was quarrel. Meaning of quarrel: to fight, argue or dispute. I am going to give 2 sample sentences for each word. First sentence is, please stop quarreling with your sister. The second sentence, the girl quarreled with her sister. Now, as the word quarrel is in its first form and it's a verb, we can change its form while making the sentence. See, in the first sentence, we have used ing with quarrel. Quarreling. Please stop quarreling with your sister. It becomes the continuous tense here. While in the second sentence, we have used the second form of quarrel, that is quarreled, and it becomes the past tense. So, if the verb is given in the first form, we can change its tense while making the sentence. Now, coming to the next word, that is replied. Replied. She replied with a long letter the next day. The second sentence is the student replied to the teacher quickly. Now, as the word reply is given in its second form, that is replied here, so while making the sentence of this word, we will not change its tense. We are bound to use the same word replied in the sentence. Coming to the third word now, that is weather. Meaning of weather is day-to-day climate. The two sample sentences for weather are: we could not play outside because of bad weather, and today the weather is very pleasant. The last word is disgrace. Meaning of disgrace, dishonor or shame. The two sample sentences: there is no disgrace in hard work, and the squirrel felt no disgrace in being small in size. Now students, you must remember while doing this work, you have to start all the sentences with capital letter and end them properly with punctuation marks, either with the exclamation mark or the full stop. And do your work very neatly and properly. Follow the same pattern which is given here. First write the word and then make its sentence underneath it. Our next work, students, is the main idea of the poem, The Mountain and the Squirrel. As you must know that we have to write the main idea of all the poems in our syllabus. So here I am providing you with the main idea of this poem. Remember, you have to note it down on your neat copies. So you should be ready. I am going to start now. This poem offers a very interesting and thought-provoking fact of life. The fact that nothing and no one in this world is created meaningless. The mountain and the squirrel have a dispute about their size. The mountain feels proud of his great size, but the squirrel feels no disgrace at her small size. Now the next paragraph. The poem conveys the message that all beings are created equally and no one is superior or inferior. Everyone has different talent and does accordingly. Now the last line is taken from the poem. Talents differ, all is well and wisely put. So this was the main idea of the poem. I hope that you have noted it down properly on your copies. You better learn it also. This was today's lecture. I hope you have understood everything. If you have any questions relating to it, you can ask me. I am here for your guidance. Thank you.